out deepelmonair.com for all of your exclusive rates, show times, and more. Everything you need to know about the local music scene for the Dallas-Fort Worth area can be found online. deepelmonair.com.
It's deepelmonair.com. Excuse me. HireAHero.org presents PMS, the Pugs Moran Show. Hey, that's me, alongside my trusted sidekick, the Grand Commander. What's your title?
It's the Supreme Commander.
Oh, the Grand... okay, Grand Commander sounds better than Supreme.
No, hell no. It's the Supreme Commander.
But there's nothing grand is like, he's the Grand.
Yeah, it sounds like I should be wearing like a... I don't know. Yeah, no.
You sound like you should be the father of the Supreme Commander. You know, like the retired former Supreme Commander would go off and just be the Grand Commander.
You know, you actually you asked me,
like we've got a Grand Pope now.
What the rank was of Supreme Commander, and I remembered that, and I actually went and looked it up.
It's the Star Wars thing.
No, no. Our president is the Supreme Commander.
Well, he's the Supreme Commander of the military. Wait, is he?
Yeah.
Is that what?
That's it.
Okay.
And so it's a military rank.
All right.
But it's also galactic.
Okay.
And that's how I use it.
I thought it was galactic in nature. Yeah. Okay. Very cool. All right. How is everybody doing today? It is the 26th of March, Tuesday afternoon. I have no exciting stories to just start off with, like yesterday. Yesterday, the story of Art the dog. The stray pit bull who was running around my neighborhood. Jansen, I went home last night after the show that we did.
Yeah.
And I went looking for Art. I did what I figured any compassionate person, and I half expected to find, dead Art on the side of the road. He's just a stupid puppy. Yeah. He's a stupid 6-month-old pit bull puppy. And I don't even know if he was 6 months old. He looked to be about 6 months old. And I'm really only basing that on your dog. When I knew your dog, when your dog was 6 months old.
Yeah.
He was about that big. By the way, which Jansen has, you got 2 dogs.
Uh-huh.
What are their names? Tell everybody.
Bach is the puppy. He's 9 months. And then his mama is Sky.
Jansen has two dogs. They are pit bulls. The mama is Sky. She is the proud mother of Bach. Who is, how old is Bach? Less than a year?
9 months.
9 months. Okay, so Bach is 9 months old.
He's a little beast.
Does this happen in the animal kingdom? Bach beats the shit out of his mother every single day, and the mom just takes it. The mom never fights back.
No, she does. She does, but you know what? She needs encouragement. It's really weird. Like if I'll go out there.
But are we witnessing like an animal dynamic where the young boy, is learning to fight and be aggressive with the mom?
Yeah, and
the mom doesn't really retaliate because she knows he's practicing?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you do see that. It's funny.
It's brutal.
But like I said, she'll get down with him, and it's funny, man. It's like,
does he ever back down? Is there any sort of like in the human world, at some point if a boy and his mom are screaming, it will get to a point where the boy will back down. At some point, some sort of realization that this is my mommy. Yeah, I have to do what she says. Does that happen in the dog world?
Yeah, the puppy still comes out in him, and he ends up getting his ass kicked every once in a while.
Big Bach gets his ass kicked by his mommy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
that's funny.
It's funny when they get at it full blown. It's like they'll like tackle each other, and it will sound like football players. Like muscle.
I've heard them. You folks listening in yesterday may have heard them running around outside the studio. Yeah. I mean, it's like a football team. It's like a football practice.
But they're sweet as can be, though.
Oh, they are the nicest. They are the most playful. There isn't a mean bone. Well, I'll tell you, here's the thing. I walk into your house because your house also doubles as a studio. And I will walk in. Usually I'll knock first, knock, 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 and I'll look around and I'll open the door a little because, if it's open during studio hours, people are coming and going and they're working. But I am telling you, that is not an invite to strangers. Nothing. Even I love those 2 dogs. But when I open the door a crack and then these 2 massive pit bulls come, you hear their little nails on the hardwood floor, and it's like, So if you are a burglar, you like have time to picture what that is making that noise, and then a few seconds later they'll come tearing around the corner. So you better befriend.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. You better befriend if you walk in here, because these two dogs, they are scary looking.
Yeah, man. You know,
but beautiful. Sweet.
I had another one who now lives with my mom because he's getting older. He was a red one, red pit bull, and he was so sweet. And I just thought that, you know, he's almost too sweet. If somebody ever did break in, he would just go lick him to death. That's not true. Dogs know when to be dogs. They know situations when, okay, I need to be protective now. Yeah,
you know, my dog, my old dog that just passed away, she had a really good look about her when she wanted to look intimidating. She'd hunch her shoulders up, and her nose would go like parallel to the ground the way a wolf does, you know. And
wow.
She'd look very wolf, and she could get the fangs going where it's like that.
Yeah.
But that was all she'd do. I mean, I used to say the only way that I would be spared a burglary is if the guy who came to rob my house brought his dog with him. Because my dog, if my house was robbed by another dog, forget about it. That dog would never get away with it, because my dog seemed to only be aggressive towards other dogs. Humans, she would like be standoffish at first, but she would never. Ultimately, she was just looking for somebody to scratch behind her ears.
Well, that's what you think, but I'm telling you, I thought the same thing about Ganj, and I got attacked and stabbed one time on my front porch, and my dog saved my life. Like my girlfriend heard him like scratching at the door, freaking out, and he jumped off the porch and like attacked the dude. Like nothing like this had ever happened.
What the hell was going on that you got stabbed on your porch? Where were you living? Are you comfortable going into this story?
Yeah.
I want to hear it.
All right, so I was just sitting on my front porch. I kind of lived in a.
Folks, you wonder how he got the title Supreme Commander? Well, these are the stories.
Look, let me show you the scar.
Are we on camera?
No, I'll show it in a second.
Yeah, no, but I've seen your.
Anyway, so I was sitting on the front porch, and I kind of lived in a rough area. And this crackhead literally comes walking up to me. And
were you like the only white guy?
I was.
Okay.
Like all my neighbors were Mexican and El Salvadorian.
Okay. All right.
So this crackhead comes walking up to my. I was sitting on my porch, but on these steps. And
do they have Mexican crackheads?
No. This guy was the black guy.
Oh, okay. Of course. Sure. White or black crackheads. Mexicans aren't crackheads.
Yeah. So anyway, he comes walking up and he's like, "Hey man, can I get $10?" Like he asked for 10. Like I've had people ask for money before, like change. The dude asked for $10.
That's specific. What do you need help with your cable bill? What do you mean
I was like, no, get the hell off my porch. And so he starts walking down my steps, and I see him like reaching around his waistband, like grabbing something, and then he turns around with this knife, and he goes, "Now, nigga, give me $10." And I was like, dude, I still don't have $10. And I like jumped up real fast and tried to grab his wrist.
Yeah.
And he like slipped out of my grasp real fast. And
all right, see, this is not how this is supposed to work. When we say no, when you ask for money and we say no, you're supposed to say God bless you and walk away. That's the social contract that we've made. We allow you people to do this. We really aren't. We're all pretty nice, right? Everybody tries to be respectful. Everybody tries to be a little bit nice. But the deal is that when we say no, you say God bless you and you walk away. You don't pull a knife. This is a breakdown of society, Jansen.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, we had this moment where he just looks at me for a second, and it's like, what are you gonna do now? And then he stabs me 3 times, and well,
okay, when you're getting stabbed, like, what are you thinking? Are you thinking like, what? Wait, stop! No, wait, time out. What is going on? How do you react?
Well, it happened actually really, really fast, and it didn't even really hurt. But
it was like a prison shanking, like
it was like real fast, and then I grabbed him like almost like in a headlock.
Was it like an ice pick or a steak knife? Describe the knife.
No, it was a just like it was like a pocket knife, just
pocket knife,
big thick pocket knife.
Damn pocket knives.
And like the kind that just fold in, you know. And so anyway, so we get to kind of wrestling around, and then I start kind of screaming, and that's when my girlfriend.
Yeah. At what point do other people notice what's going on?
Well, my girlfriend then hears me yelling, and the dog is freaking out at the door.
Okay.
And then so
this is Ganj.
Yeah, Ganja. Okay. And so she opens the door, and he like I'm trying to still grab his arm, and he's trying to get loose from me, and we're still fighting. And then he like gets to where he's about to like stab me again, and that's when my dog, like, this used to give me chills telling the story. He like jumped from the top porch and just grabbed his arm in midair and just started shaking.
Yeah,
just started shaking, dude.
You know what? That's why, you know, people are like, oh, you should get a nice little low impact dog. Because I'm not gonna say that I'm in the market for a dog, but I want a dog that if the shit hits the fan, you know, it could be me and him. I felt good about my last dog. My last dog, I felt there's something about the confidence. Like, I had confidence with my last dog, Blue, who I just put down, that I could take her for a walk anywhere, anytime. Didn't matter if it was a dark alley at midnight. I could feel confident that no one was going to fuck with me because it looked like I was walking a timber wolf.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
totally.
And there was something about, I'm not going to get that with a beagle. I'm not. We're going to have, if she has to go piss at 2 o'clock in the morning and we live in a sketchy neighborhood, she's going to have to hold it because she's not a big dog. She's a beagle. So what happened to Ganj after he attacked the crackhead?
He actually stabbed Ganj.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
That's against the total breakdown of society.
Yeah, he stabbed my dog. And it's funny, we have scars almost in the same spot.
And the dog is still alive?
Yeah, the dog was actually fine. See,
who got better medical treatment, you or the dog?
He was actually fine, because it just kind of went under his skin. It didn't really, and it didn't really go all that deep. He just had a couple of stitches. And
I bet he bled a lot, though. You know, I'll tell you, that's something about those pit bulls.
It was a lot of clear blood. It was like this clear stuff.
Pit bulls and dogs with hair like that, really thin hair, they bleed a lot because they cut so easy.
Yeah.
You couldn't, my husky, it was like she was wearing a down winter coat. You couldn't cut her. You couldn't make her bleed. It was like you would stab her with a 6-inch knife and you'd still have 4 inches of fur before you got the skin. But so Ganj didn't need anything?
No, he got a couple of stitches and that was it. But me.
You had surgery.
Dude, I was in ICU for almost a month. It popped my lung. Jeez. Like, I had a complete collapsed lung by the time the paramedics got there, man. I was like blacking out. And I remember they put the oxygen over my face and was like, "Is that better?" And I was like, "Yeah, I could breathe." But then I remember hearing the paramedics say he saw bubbles coming out the side, and that's when they knew the lung was popped. And man,
because it was the air leaking out.
Yeah. Of the wound, man. Like bubbles coming out of the wound, and that's when I started freaking. And my dad had just died not long before this.
So what happened to the guy? He obviously
took off running down the street.
Was he bloodied up?
Yeah, he was wounded. Now here's the worst part.
How did Ganj stop? Did you order the dog to stop at some point?
No,
he got away.
When he stabbed the dog, Ganj. I remember hearing, because I was like yeah, he yelped, and then because I was already like on the porch, like holding my wound, because blood was just coming out everywhere. Right. I had to have several bags of blood, like a lot of blood, dude.
I don't understand how this happens. This is, you know, you're sitting on your porch in the United States of America, and a beggar comes by. Okay, so you're not in the best neighborhood. The guy asks you for money, and you say no. Well, wait a second. Let's go back. Rewind. How did you say no?
I was kind of a dick. I told him to get the. I told him, I was like, man, get the. Because it was $10. Like, who asked for that? That was just ridiculous. I'm like, whoa.
All right, so wait a second. Maybe we do need to amend the social contract. If the request from the beggar is so completely far fetched, you have a right then to not, because we're not supposed to be rude to him.
Yeah.
We're supposed to say something like, you know what my stock response to a beggar is? And I always get it, man. I go to this dollar store that is over here, located in Dallas. It's over on like Maple and like Kings Road, you know, over by Parkland Hospital in that area, just 1 block over from Funky Harry Hines and all that stuff. I come out of this dollar store and it is like clockwork. Somebody, my man. Yeah. Say my man. It's always like we're going to be drinking buddies, right? It was some old long lost pal. I was wondering, could I get some, you got any change? You got a couple dollars? They're always trying to get somewhere. They're always trying to get somewhere for something.
Just get out of jail or something.
I understand this. And when I had money, I used to always give. I would always give $1 or $2, whatever I had. Here you go. Because what the hell? What's it doing? It's sitting in my pocket. You know, this guy, he's just going to use that on drugs. So what? So what? Drugs make him happy. He's not happy now. Ultimately, I'm contributing to making another human being happy. I don't care if it's going to kill him. That's his choice. Anyway, my stock response now, and it works, and it really must have this innovation in eco-technology must have really, well, dropped a bombshell on the. I say plastic. I say, oh, God, it's plastic, dude.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, people don't have money anymore. People, they must hear that all day long. You know, the innovation of the check card completely ruined, you know, this whole industry of panhandling.
Yeah.
Because now, and they have to accept that because they know that's how it's gone. Are bums at some point going to start carrying around like, you know, credit card swipe machines where we'll take it on plastic?
PayPal.
Hey, you know, you got to keep up, I guess.
Dude, do you know how much they actually make? Jimmy did an interview with one of them one morning for the Jagger Show, and man, they make around $250, $300 a day. Do you realize that?
That is unbelievable to me. I remember there was a story. There was this famous guy, and I don't know that he's still around. He was a midget. Do you remember the midget that used to panhandle off the expressways?
I heard of that. Yeah. And then he would go and walk to a car after he was leaving. It'd be like a Lexus or something.
I don't remember exactly. This was when I first moved down here, and it was a story because one of the news channels had done a expose on this guy, and I remember talking about him, and people were calling in, and he was really a local. I mean, everybody knew who this guy was, and he was a bum panhandler, whatever, and he worked a very high profile corner here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and the news did a story on him where. Yeah, he would walk. He parked his car in like an expensive garage, not a lot, like a garage that was like, you know, $12.50 for 4 hours, you know, and he would park it in there. And it was like a really nice car. I don't know if it was a Lexus, but it was something like that.
Yeah.
It was a fancy car. And then the news team followed him. And I don't remember the exact details, but apparently he lived in like a really nice house in like a normal neighborhood. You know, not like, you know, a cracked out neighborhood where you expect if this guy lives somewhere, you'd think it would probably be like, you know, a shabby little shotgun shack somewhere in, you know, the worst parts of Dallas. No, it was like a normal house in a normal neighborhood. Yeah, so this guy was out there. Apparently this guy made like over $100,000 a year.
Yeah, untaxed.
Untaxed. He's just a beggar. So, hey, look, more power to him. I'm not going to be a hater. If that's how they choose to live their life, if that's the level of dignity that they're comfortable with going to bed with at night, then, hey, more power to them.
And that dude probably wasn't going out stabbing people either.
No, he's working. But you know what? I mean, I would like, if you're going to do that, put on a show. Do a little something. You know, if you're going to ask me for $10, $10, man, you got to do something for me for $10. Yeah. 10, I mean, I don't.
It's I think he was just going up there with the intention to rob me anyway, and like, you know, was just cracked out of his mind. And you know, one time I was when I was living in Deep Ellum, walking down the street, a crackhead lady came walking up to me and she was like, "Can I have a Coke?" And I was like, "What? A Coke? Why would I have a Coke?" Like it didn't even make any sense. I'm like, I don't have a Coke.
Man,
sorry.
My mom will tell you about this guy. Okay, if we're going to tell stories about people begging, there was when I lived with my grandfather, he was sick, and you know, we moved in to take care of him because he was pretty much, you know, it's hard for grandma just to take care of him. And they had lived in the same neighborhood that they had lived in all their life. Now, when the neighborhood was created, it was a hardcore Irish Catholic enclave just on the outskirts of the city of Chicago. And everybody who lived in that little area, they all worked for the city. They were all cops or firemen, and their last names were all Murray or O'Hare or, you know, McDougal, names like that. It was real Irish. Well, that was like 50 years ago, and over time, the next generation of kids, they didn't buy their parents' house. They moved out to the suburbs. So someone had to buy their parents' house, and you know, different ethnic groups started moving in. So by the time I got to live at my grandfather's, we were the only, we were the only Irish people left, that's for sure. And we were really the only people in the entire neighborhood with, how would I put this? With our skin complexion. We were the only white people. They were the last white people left. So Grandma and Grandpa are living there. And I move in, just, well, I mean, there's any number of reasons. First of all, they're elderly, they can't do stuff, and Grandpa's really sick. We had this neighbor, this guy named Greg, who, like, started acting like he was, like, going to help out and doing all this stuff, and he always, hey, how are you? Really nice neighbor. Then he started asking for money and shit. You know, and it got, like, really weird. Like, it started out like, can you give me a ride to work? You know, neighbor. And I don't really know the neighbor. I'm like, well, yeah, sure, man, no problem. I'll give you a ride. Give him a ride to work, and then, I'll never forget, he then comes over and he starts asking, like, my grandpa, who's dying, for, like, money. Like, hey, you got a 20 I can borrow or something like that? And so we're always, like, giving him this, whatever, okay. Then, when my grandpa passes away and the house catches fire, in the whole process when my grandfather passed away, we come back and we find out that the entire house has been robbed.
No.
Everything in it is gone. All of, like, anything that I had a room downstairs. All of my cool shit was gone.
Man.
Everything. And it was this son of a bitch that lived next door.
So,
This asshole, yes, this guy, he was like Mr. Fun Neighbor, and, you know, he'd ask politely, hey, can you help me out? Can you give me a ride? We'd give him whatever he wants. And then his neighbor dies tragically in a fire, and he decides to be the good neighbor by robbing the family. My God.
man.
What is going on? And that's just a horrible neighborhood now. Where is the where's the good neighbor attitude in the bad neighborhood? Maybe that's why they're bad neighborhoods. All the neighbors are like at each other's throats. Can't trust one another.
It's still in 1950. It stayed there.
Yeah. No, it's not. In 1950, I imagine black neighborhoods were a lot nicer to one another.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like it's
Nowadays, what is wrong with
sad.
people? We're just not nice to one another. Can you imagine that? Your neighbor robs your house? My God, this isn't Norman Rockwell's America. It's more like maybe, I don't know, I was trying to think of a scary. Norman Bates. It's Norman Bates America. That's what it is. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break here. We're going to play a little bit of music. We're going to get everything straightened out. We'll come back. We'll run through some of the news stories. Let's see here. Some kid woke up $30 million richer. Did you see that story?
No, I didn't.
Hey, selling them apps. Selling them apps, boy. We'll talk about that, plus a whole bunch more. We've got a full show for you today. It's PMS, the Pugs Moran Show. HireAHero.org presents the PMS Show, Pugs Moran Show. Heard every day, noon till whenever, right here on DeepElmOnAir.com.
Now is the hour, best to be ready. Hold on to your word and promise you're keeping. Don't say a thing. Willow, don't say a thing.
A Better Death, Willow, deepelmonair.com, PMS, The Pugs Moran Show, brought to you by hireahero.org. I am Pugs Moran. Jansen is with us, the Supreme Allied Commander. Facebook page is John Pugs. I'm going to be doing, as the show progresses, this is only show 2, so as we move forward in doing this show, and it will be done at least in some way every day at noon right here at deepelmonair.com. We're gonna figure out sort of a groove. You know, there's definitely a kind of a groove you need to create for a show. So we're just trying to find that right now. And one of the things that I wanted to do was I wanted to sort of use Facebook as a way to drive the show. And I don't know how to do that yet because I don't know that that's ever really been done before. But if there was a way to broadcast directly to Facebook, that would kind of be cool because I would be perfectly fine if that was the only audience that we were reaching, because that is a significant audience. That is a big audience.
Man, I think you're onto something. I'm sure that's coming soon, because that's what YouTube's doing now.
Yeah, I know they have the YouTube channels and all of that.
And that's kind of what we talked about earlier today when we do the new Google Hangout. It'll be broadcasting.
The problem is that there seems to be, and you're definitely more of an expert on this stuff than I am, and there are other people around here who are even more expert than you are.
Yeah.
I know the basics of a lot of this stuff. Mm-hmm. But the problem is that as we build this station, as we build this show and the shows that will come following, we're going to have to be implementing technology that is at this point, either 3 years old or not even on the market yet. It's just changing so soon. Like, for instance, yesterday at noon we were committed to doing a thing with Skype, and by today at noon, that had turned into Google Hangout because there's just so many. Everybody's got a best way of doing something, and there's so many options. We're figuring it out, so we'll get it together, and over time with a commitment to do this show that Jedi and I both have. We'll get it all figured out. No worries. All right, one of the things concerning the Facebook involvement in this show is before every show, see, we used to do a thing where we would just go to the phones and we would just take phone calls from people about whatever it was that they were interested in. And we do have a phone number. You can see it right there on the screen at Deep Ellum.
Yeah, I'm putting it up now. I forgot to put it up.
Oh, you didn't put it up?
Yeah,
what is it?
469-759-6472.
We can take calls, but I just don't know that we will take calls. I don't know that we'll make calls a big part of the show. So in the meantime, I like the idea that we can do like an open phone segment with Facebook posts. So before every show on my Facebook page, John Pugs, I'm just going to post something like, hey, what do you want to talk about? Or what topics do you want to hear about? And then you just throw them all up there. And at some point in the show, probably right I was going to say maybe at the beginning, but who knows? I'll just go through them, and I'll see about answering these. We also need some, like, music. I like to have a nice little music bed underneath me. Otherwise, it sounds too dry.
Yeah.
So just, moving forward, let's think about getting some music and some beds.
Like for the calls?
No, for like now.
Yeah, I got all kinds of music. I didn't know that's what you wanted. I love having music in the background.
I like a little something. Not all the time. But
I
sometimes
completely
it just feels
agree.
a little dry. Okay, good.
Good.
All right, so give me a little music to read the Facebook posts of things that people want me to talk about, okay? All right, we'll do that right here. Once again, the Facebook page, if you would like to participate in this little segment, you can go to John Pugs on Facebook. John Pugs on Facebook. I'd also encourage you to join the Deep Ellum On Air Facebook page, which is what? Deep Ellum On Air?
You got it.
Deep Ellum On Air on Facebook. All right. We'll start things off with Kettlebell Rick. Rick wants...
Love that guy.
Yeah, Rick's a good guy. Rick is such a loyal supporter of everything that all of us have done.
Yeah, he is.
We could use... The world could use a bunch more Kettlebell Ricks. All right, Kettlebell Rick wants to hear about gas prices going up and down.
Oh, man.
Well, let me tell you. You want me to talk about gas prices? Holy crap. I don't even know what gas prices are now. All I know is that I can't afford gas. That's what I know. I know it's too expensive. I know that with the car that I'm driving now, and listen, I just got a brand new car. My son, many of you may know, now lives in Austin and I live in Dallas. So the idea of having to drive back and forth from Austin and Dallas on the reg, as kids say, was just a cost that was going to be insurmountable for me. I mean, that was going to be in the old car, I was driving a BMW 5, okay? The gas to go between Dallas and Austin and back would be $100. It would be $100 both ways, or round trip. I just could not, to see my son, who I got to see all the time. So I got a brand new 2013 Chevy Sonic that gets like unbelievable gas mileage. So, Rick, if you want to talk to me about gas prices going up and down, I don't have much to say on it other than get rid of your gas guzzler and get a car that gets wicked gas mileage, because all I know is that $20 can get me down to Austin now. I know $20 is all I need.
Do you think that cars like the Tesla are going to eventually start getting popular?
Well,
I'd like to see that.
Eventually, I think that we will have motorized cars. I don't know how soon.
What do you mean motorized?
Or I mean electric cars. We'll get rid of the combustion engine. I don't know how soon, though, because so many economies around the world are based on oil. And if we suddenly all just moved off of oil, I mean, sure, there are other things that oil is used for, but you take all the cars in the world off oil, and there's going to be, you want to talk about people storming the castle with pitchforks. I mean, it's going to be hard. It's really going to be difficult. But we as America should certainly focus on that.
Yeah.
And I think that we should lead the world with that. Have you ever been to Europe?
No, I haven't.
I don't understand why Europe hasn't had electric cars for 20 years. You think gas prices here are bad? You people go to England. It's like $10, the equivalent's like $10 a gallon there.
Yeah.
I mean, it is, and it's why, in Italy and all those countries, they always have those itty-bitty little cars. We always make fun of, look at the little Italian car. Well, no, that's because gas is so freaking expensive over there. All right, let's see, what else? That's the gas price thing. Clint Paco, he wants to know what brand of lotion the reptilian-human hybrids who have usurped all world governments use to keep their scales from getting ashy.
I'm going to say just aloe vera.
Something with aloe vera in it? Yeah, I hear it's Nivea, but okay.
There's a really weird video going around I saw this morning, actually, of a reptilian bodyguard for Obama, like during his speech.
What?
Yeah, like they zoomed in. Now
What
I will
sites
say
are
this.
you going to?
I don't know. It was posted on the Facebook feed.
What Breitbart knockoff site did you see that on?
I'm sure Paco saw it, but it like zoomed in on this guy, and he was all like looking around like frantically, and it did look a little weird, but I didn't see the whole shape changing.
Maybe that's what Paco's talking about. Maybe he saw the same story.
Talking about the Anunnaki is what he said.
The what?
They're called the Anunnaki.
I don't know what an Anunnaki is.
It's the reptilian shape-shifting.
But they don't exist. How do they have a name, and how do you know it?
Well, what if they do exist? I don't know they don't exist.
Okay. All right, let's see here. Jeff May says, I haven't done any research, but I hear there is a gay NFL player contemplating coming out and still playing. Well, we talked about that yesterday.
Yeah.
But
no one's came out yet, though, right?
Yeah, you think it's Tebow.
Not really.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I do think it's Tebow, but I don't think he'll ever come out. Hey, so have you seen that everyone's changing their Facebook picture today?
Why? What is this about?
Do you know what I'm talking about? It's to the gay rights.
With red bars?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
How do you feel about that?
I think those kinds of things are terrific shows of solidarity, but I think it takes more than just changing your Facebook page. You got to be willing to engage people in your personal universe who may not feel the same way, and you got to bring up the uncomfortable subjects around the Easter brunch table. Yeah, that's what it takes. It takes people talking about these things, not just simply. See, changing your icon on your Facebook page to show support is nice, and it's nice to see how many people are of like mind and all that. And there's no harm in it. But if that's all you do, then you're just like one of those tools driving around with a yellow ribbon on the back of your car that says support the troops, and you've never given a dime to one of the troop organizations.
I agree. Our friend Brent with McCourt Entertainment, he was actually talking about it this morning, and he was saying it doesn't really do much because the only thing you're doing is posting that to people who you already know, and they already know you feel that way. So it's like, what good are you really doing?
Yeah, no, that's interesting. Yeah, if you're doing this on Facebook, as the dogs attack someone who's just come into the studios here, I don't know if y'all heard that, but the dogs just did what I described earlier. They scrambled across the floor and greeted someone at the front door with ferocious
Sorry, we had our
team
flyers
barks.
dropped off.
Oh, is that a dude with a flyer?
Yeah, well, he was dropping off our new flyers, man.
Oh, okay. All right, where were we?
How your friends already know how you feel, so
Yeah.
anyway, yeah.
I think anything. I think anything that shows that people agree is a positive.
Yeah.
That's all. We have too many people looking to argue and too many people not getting along. So anything that is a show, I don't even care what it's for. I mean, it's just interesting to see that people can actually agree on something. And now that you mention it, I'm looking at my column of all my friends who are on Facebook, and I'm seeing a number of those.
Yeah.
Those red, they're like red with 2 pink equal signs.
I'm not going to do that because I just don't really feel like it's going to do much. I mean, we have a show here on deeplmionair.com different, and that's all they talk about. Like, it's a show for that topic. And,
all they talk about is gay shit on that show.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what it is.
I love it.
All right, let's go. Let's see. What else do we have? Topics. Again, on the Facebook page, I'll be starting a thread every day before each show that says, what do you want to talk about? Philip Graham wants to know why the White Sox suck so hard. Well, that's just somebody trolling. That's just somebody, I'm a White Sox fan, and they're just trying to troll. I don't know. My team has won a World Series in the last decade. How many has yours won?
Who's his team?
I'm assuming the Rangers. I always like to say that to Ranger fans. That's really nice that you got and lost to two World Series in a row. That's good. You lost 2 World Series in a row. You're the Buffalo Bills of Major League Baseball. Come barking at me. My team. You want to know? My team, when my team was in the World Series a couple years ago, they broke a record. They were the most effective killing machine in postseason history. I believe they went 11-1 or 10-1 or something. They only lost 1 damn game the entire run through the playoffs. They swept the Houston Oilers. They played like the Houston Oilers playing baseball. They swept the Houston Astros in 4 straight. Come on. They opened up that postseason run by sweeping the Boston Red Sox, the defending World Series champion. You want to be the champion, you got to go through the champion. So don't talk shit to me about my White Sox, especially if you're coming at me as a Ranger fan, bitch. All right.
That's what you've done, troll.
Yeah, see what you did? You wanted? You got it. Okay, let's see. What else do we have? More questions from the Facebook page. See, now this is what I can't stand. I can't stand. This is why this is not going to work. If I start a thread that says just post, what do you want to talk about? Just post what I want to. That means I'm going to be using that as a guide. So now it's all jammed up with people having conversations with one another inside the whole thread, and I don't know who's suggesting anything. All right, let's see here. What am I getting here? Susan, a good friend of mine, Susan Hayworth Dawson, she wants to know why she's getting yesterday's show. Obviously, she needs to refresh her page, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so all she's got to do is just kind of...
Oh, you know what? She's on your actual show page. She needs to be on the home page, the main page.
Oh, all right.
She's on your actual show page.
All right, well, we'll figure all that out. All right, in the meantime, let's talk about some things that I want to talk about really quick here. Do you remember Christopher Dorner? Remember this dude?
Yeah.
Christopher Dorner was
Rambro.
Rambro, right. He was the disgraced LAPD cop who had a vendetta against the way he was dismissed from the police force. So he decided he was going to go out and he was going to kill a bunch of cops. He killed a bunch of cops. Well, not a bunch. He killed people. He killed the daughter and fiance of the man who fired him, and then he killed a couple of police officers, shot some others. And then he went and hid out. He had a hideout when he hid out in the mountains of Big Bear there in California, about 100 miles outside of LA, I would say. So he was up there for a couple of days. The whole world is on lockdown, or at least certainly California, worried about this cop killer that's going to pop out of the bushes. A lot of people were drawing comparisons to the Beltline or the Beltway sniper. Do you remember this guy? You remember the Beltway sniper?
No.
Really? John Muhammad and Lee Boyd Melville?
Oh, yeah, those guys. Okay, that's what I was thinking. I didn't realize they were called the Beltway sniper, though.
Yeah, because they were on the Beltway in Washington, D.C., killing people. Well, a lot of people were making comparisons to Dorner and this guy. All right, so they found him, and they basically, they Waco'd him. They Branch Davidian'd him. They Branch Davidian... Hold on. They Branch Davidian him. Whatever. They took him out like David Koresh. They burnt his cabin down. And he was in there. But if you remember, there were all kinds of rewards being offered for this guy. You're a citizen. You come across Christopher Dorner. You let the authorities know, hey, we got $1 million for you. I mean, they were really looking for him.
Well, wasn't there an actual guy who called, right?
Well, yeah, there was that old couple that they were taken hostage, I believe.
Yeah.
And then Dorner, for some reason, boogied out of their place, and they got loose, and they let the cops know where he was and where he was running and all that stuff. Well, now, Riverside County, is it Riverside County? I want to make sure I get this right. They're welching on the deal. They're not giving, Riverside County. Listen to this. Okay. We told you this was going to happen. Some of the folks who offered a reward for the capture of cop killer Christopher Dorner have wussed out on a technicality. This is from TMZ. We did the story first that the reward was for the arrest and conviction of the former LAPD cop. But since Dorner killed himself rather than surrender, the conditions were not met. Although there's absolutely no doubt several citizens were instrumental in surrounding the cabin where he holed up. The county of Riverside, which offered $100,000, has just announced that it will not ante up the money to anyone. Other local governments have offered additional rewards totaling more than $1 million. The jury is out still on whether they'll do the right thing and actually make the payment. All right, now, here's a big problem. First of all, I hope nobody else ever goes missing. I hope they never end up offering a reward for something again. I hope they never ask the general public there in Riverside County to give the authorities a hand in apprehending some rascal. Because I'll tell you, nobody's going to believe they're going to give the money. It's $100,000. You got to give these people something. I believe these were the people that were taken hostage. I mean, come on. You know, what are you talking about here? Christopher Dorner, let's see, it goes on to say, then the story actually says, by the way, good luck, Riverside County, the next time you ask people for help and offer a reward. Because who's going to help? I don't know. All right, moving on here. Let's see what else we have here. You know, let's stay on TMZ for a second. Sorry, folks, I'm killing time. My board up has run out of the studio. So I'm pretty much treading water while we do this. Hey, it looks like Dionne Warwick is bankrupt. Remember Dionne Warwick? Do you know the way to stand to say I don't know what else she does. What else she did that? That's What Friends Are For. That was a big one. She's bankrupt. She owes $10 million in taxes. I will never understand how this happens to rich people. If let's just say that I suddenly get a check for $2 million. Let's say my album drops and it's an unrivaled hit. Massive hit. I get a check for $2 million. If I get that check for $2 million today, I'm like just taking $1 million of that and putting it somewhere and never going to touch it. I just don't understand how these people get to live in so low. I'm doing a story here, Jensen. Welcome back on Dionne Warwick. Do you know who Dionne Warwick is?
No. Is it a sports player?
No. No, she comes from an era when women were still named Dionne.
Okay.
This was before somewhere in the 1960s and 70s when black boys began getting the name Dionne. Up until some point, it was a strictly female name. Dionne Warwick is broke, Jansen. She's the girl who sang, "That's what friends are for. Keep smiling, Come on, you know that song. I'll be on your side forevermore. That's what friends are for. Whoa. Come on, you know that song.
Not that version.
Dude, that's like one of the biggest songs of all time.
Here, let me find it right here. Here it is. Let's see.
Come on. How do you not know it yet?
Oh, yeah, dude. Now that I actually hear it.
I'm sorry, I should have played my harmonica. That's what I should have done. All right. Okay. All right, let's go through Dionne Warwick's sordid history here. It says she's broke. Hey, we're her friends, ironically. You know, if you're this broke. I saw Dionne Warwick. She did this video with Elton John and a bunch of other rich people. Michael Jackson. I think he's dead, so he can't really help.
Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, who's all in the video? You see who's there?
No.
Somebody's got to help Dionne Warwick out. Oh, you know who else she was? She was, I believe, Whitney Houston's like aunt. Or
get out of here.
Cousin or something. Yeah, she's some relationship to... because when Whitney Houston first came on the scene, everybody was like, oh, that's Dionne Warwick's niece or something like that. Also, you might remember Dionne Warwick from the Psychic Friends Network. She was on like every late night infomercial between 1991 and 2000.
Her?
Yeah, that's her with the Psychic Friends.
The Miss Cleopatra?
Well, I don't know if she was Miss Cleo, but she was the host, and she had all these psychics, and they'd try to get you to call in and use their services. All right, it says here, Dionne Warwick is broke as hell, and owes more than $10 million in unpaid taxes. The Do You Know the Way to San Jose singer filed for bankruptcy in New Jersey, claiming she only had $25,000 in assets, but owes more than $10.2 million in taxes and fees to the IRS. Warwick's rep, Kevin Sasaki, says Dion's financial disaster was caused by negligent and gross financial mismanagement in the late 80s through the mid-90s. According to the court docs, the 72-year-old claims she makes $20,950, but spends $20,940. Translation, her monthly net is only $10. All right, so she's making $20,000 a month, and she owes just under that. She owes so she's making $10. If the docs, in the docs, the 5-time Grammy winner says she's still in possession of the following assets. All right, let's see here. This is what she's got. She got 2 fur coats. Cha-ching, cha-ching. The fact that they've been worn by Dionne Warwick probably makes them a little more expensive. Because coats, people don't throw fur coats out. Fur coats get handed down, and over time, it's like they become more and more valuable. It's like, oh, that's a fur coat from, it's my great-great-grandmother's mink stole. That's going to be more valuable than one you just bought at the mall. Yeah. Right? And the fact that these 2, they belong to Dionne Warwick, you got to figure, put it on eBay. There's some weird dude that will pay that much money for something Dionne Warwick. She's an icon in the gay community. Hey, how is she only making $20,000 a month? Dionne Warwick could put together a tour and do nothing but play gay clubs in every city in America and make 5 times that in a month. I mean, she's an icon.
Man, but 20,000, that's a lot though. How you say that only? How can you say that only 20,000? I don't even make 20,000 a year.
Because she needs to make 21,000. That's why I say only.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like, she's making this 20,000. I don't know what she's doing. Well, she can't go to Vegas. She can't go to Vegas and make that a night. She's Dionne Warwick, for Christ's sake. I know you don't know who she is, but your mom does. I mean, a lot of people do.
No, I didn't. I got a picture of her pulled up. I remember her.
All right, she's got 2 pairs of diamond earrings. That's it? My God, a career of 50, 60 years, and all she's got are 2 diamond earrings. She's got various gowns worth $5,000. She's got living room furniture. She's got a dining room set.
Well, do you think she's really claiming everything?
No.
No? Yeah.
No, she's a celebrity, and she's, from what I would imagine, a wealthy celebrity. I would think that she was wealthy. I mean, she's iconic. I would think that her albums sell. She gets checks every month for... she's got a lot of hits. Okay, well, here. It says, for the record, here are just some of her hits. Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head.
Oh, I love that song.
You know that. This Guy's in Love with You. I don't know that one. I'll Never Fall in Love Again. I know that one.
No.
Well, pull that up. All right, let's go through some, just so people know that this woman should have more than $25,000 in assets. Just go Dionne Warwick songs. Find I'll Never Fall in Love Again. That was a big one. That's like in every Julia Roberts movie ever made. Or Cameron Diaz. This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, listen to this. This was a big hit.
What do you get when you fall in love?
I don't know this.
Come on! This is like in the American pop culture lexicon. This is like in commercials, and you've probably heard it in a million elevators.
Never fall in love again. I'll never fall in love again.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Does not for you? Okay, how about Do You Know the Way to San Jose? How about that one? Because that's, I think, next to That's What Friends Are For, I think that was her biggest hit. Let me see here. Oh, no, man, she's got a lot of hits. All right, you better start typing quick, because I got a lot for you here. All right, what's this one?
This is Do You Know the Way to San Jose?
We're going to play What Jansen Doesn't Know.
What's the other one?
I've been away so long, I may go wrong and lose my way. Do you know the way to San Jose? I'm going back to find.
Come on, you know this.
I don't know this, man.
You don't know this song? All right, well, let's keep going through what Dionne Warwick says she has. She's got living room furniture. She's got a couple of gowns. She's got a pair of earrings and 2 fur coats. Warwick says she spends $5,000 a month on housekeeping. How? What? Hold on.
Jeez.
You can cut back there, Miss Dionne. $5,000 on housekeeping. Grab a rag, Grandma. Come on, get the vacuum. She probably doesn't even know where her vacuum is. All right, what's this one?
Shit. Sorry.
Okay. You know this one?
Each time we meet, walk on by. Walk on by. Make believe that you don't see the tears.
Huh?
Nope.
You don't know this song? Have you never been to the dentist? Okay, all right, now the next one. Again, we're playing the hits of Dionne Warwick, trying to figure out how she can be broke. These are, you don't know. Maybe she can be broke. You have no idea what these songs are.
I don't see one for her for this one. I sang a little prayer.
Yeah, I say a little prayer.
Oh, I say a little prayer.
Oh, did you put I sang a little? Now this is the one that you should know. This was in. This has been in a bunch of movies. This is taking too long. See, this is what happens when you do it on the fly. We should have had, if we were a real radio show, we'd have 5 producers that would already be pulling these. All right, now listen to this one. Tell me you've never heard this. All right, again. Trying to figure out how Dionne Warwick can make $10 million in debt. Definitely had her own sound, huh? Now that you've listened to a bunch of songs.
The moment I wake up, before I put on my makeup,
She's
I
pretty.
say a little prayer for you.
Oh, yes. Okay, I know this
Of
one.
course!
Yeah, all right.
Come on, this has been like in every chick flick of the last 10 years. 20 years.
Where now?
We'll let it get to the chorus.
For you. Forever, forever.
Yeah, this is, everybody should know this.
Yeah.
You just close your eyes and picture Julia Roberts cooking in the kitchen or something. You know, some crap like that. All right, well, let's see. Let's move on. Another little quick story while I'm on TMZ. We'll go through some more. So we talked about Dionne Warwick. She lost everything. What was the other one we were doing? Apparently, Paul Anka doesn't like Jay-Z. What a surprise.
Who?
Yeah, I'll tell Paul Anka. See, who? Exactly. And that's probably what Jay-Z would say. You know, I got into a conversation with somebody about Jay-Z a couple of months ago. It was a guy who was around my age who absolutely didn't give Jay-Z any respect or credit for anything. You know, there are these people out there.
Paul who?
Paul Anka. You don't go find any Paul Anka. We don't need to do that. Although a double bill of Paul Anka and Dionne Warwick would probably be something your mom would be interested in. My mom as well. That might be a good way for Dionne Warwick to get out of jail, bank jail, I should say. All right. What were we just talking about? I'm sorry. We're a little bit
Paul
distracted.
Anka.
Yeah, Paul Anka doesn't like Jay-Z. Now, would you say that Jay-Z is one of the most successful hip-hop artists of all time?
Yes, I would.
I was arguing with a guy who still thinks that these hip-hop stars don't in any way measure up to like the rock stars that he like.
Please.
I'm like, are you insane? He was using David Bowie as an example. You can't say that Jay-Z is bigger than David Bowie. I go, yeah, I can. I can say that Jay-Z's probably sold a lot more albums than David Bowie.
Yeah.
That Jay-Z's reach. Jay-Z, first of all, David Bowie, you know who likes David Bowie? And I like David Bowie. You know who likes David Bowie? White college kids. That's who likes David Bowie. You know who likes Jay-Z? White college kids and everyone else. So come on, stop that. Well, let's take a quick little break here. What we'll do is we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk about this kid, man. This kid woke up $30 million richer. I mean, this is great. These, all these apps that are being sold, and everybody I know is making an app. Plus, we got a couple other things we'll get to. Take a quick, short little break here and come back with more of PMS. HireAHero.org presents the PMS Show. Pugs Moran on DeepElmOnAir.com.
Dub known as reggae music.
Reggae Roots, the #1 reggae show serving DF Dub.
You all know we rule them all, effing nation.
Deep Ellum on air.
understand what's happening, how the prophecy will unfold. See, it's a dark tide, the evil sea is rising, no matter, cause we're standing on the rock. Or can't you feel the hit, the caliphate unfolding? Soon we'll war with Gog and Magog, evil's on the rise. I don't look so surprised, coming to the town when you gotta pick a side, it's on the rise. You can't believe in their lies, you gotta realize, evil's on the rise. I don't look so surprised, coming to the town when you gotta pick a side, it's on the rise. You can't believe in their lies, you gotta realize, deceitful tongues, but doing the work on the young ones, and they're calling for Hamas at any cost. It's so upside down, inside out, turned around. Now the truth's been forgotten, but it hasn't been lost. And when the darkness closes in, Hashem will live in Israel and Jerusalem. And the house of David will fulfill its vision, to bring forth the conquering lion. Evil's on the rise. Don't look so surprised, coming to the town when you gotta pick a side. It's on the rise. Can't believe in their lies, and you gotta realize evil's on the rise. Don't look so surprised, coming to the town when you gotta pick a side. It's on the rise. Can't believe in their lies, and you gotta realize, yeah, we gotta be alone. Your sword, choose your words, cause everything you say and do has been seen and heard beyond alert. Your attitude is your own control. You think you're getting rich, but you're holding moves low. So in the end, yeah, it's only your soul and what you do with your life, brother, it's all you gotta hold. So walk away with your wicked heart, cause we stand by the rock and we don't want no part. But walk away with your wicked heart, cause we stand by the rock and we don't want no part. But it's on the rise. It's on the rise. It's on the rise. It's on the road. Evil's on the rise. I don't look so surprised, coming to the time when you gotta pick a side. It's on the rise. You can't believe in their lies, and you gotta realize evil's on the rise. I don't look so surprised, coming to the time when you gotta pick a side. It's on the rise. You can't believe in their lies, and you gotta realize, you gotta feel Lord.
#1 online radio show, Reggae Roots. Only exclusively
#1 selection.
here
City Kitty Controller.
on Deep Ellum On Air.
It's the F&A's on DeepElmonair.com. HireAHero.org presents PMS, the Pugs Moran Show. Hey, that's me alongside Jedi Jansen, coming to you each and every day at noon till whenever because we make the rules. Hey, who was the band we played before the F&A's?
That was, it was Ugly Lion. The song was called Evil's on the Rise.
Come on.
And if you like reggae,
I love reggae.
Then tune in tonight, our Reggae Roots show. We got the Idrins coming in from Louisville. They're a cool reggae group.
Do they have a lot of reggae in Louisville, Texas?
Dude, we got a lot of a lot more reggae than I thought when we started doing this show. We're like, man, I hope we don't run out of artists to have come in.
But when you said we've got the Idrins, I thought you were going to say from Kingstown. But no, you said Louisville.
No, we got it's.
I'm sure the same thing.
That's the great thing about this show is we have local reggae artists, but then we'll also have national. Like we got some people from like South America calling in or something.
Oh, you know, it reminds me of the funniest thing I ever overheard at a bar once. Speaking of Louisville, we were on Lake Louisville at Sneaky Pete's. And have you ever been? I know you've probably been to Sneaky Pete's. You're a former employee of 105.3. That's where we spent a lot of our summer days. You know the gazebo that's way down on the water, and there's a bar out there? I was leaning up against the gazebo, and there was a couple standing next to me, and then we were doing some 105.3 event. And the girl said lovingly to the guy, as the sun was setting on beautiful Lake Louisville, "Oh my God, it looks just like Florida." And the guy, without missing a beat, goes, "You've never been to Florida, have you?" I mean, it was pretty, but it was Lake Louisville, and it doesn't look anything like Florida. It's not exactly the same thing. Although, you know, beauty is, I guess, in the eye of the beholder.
Exactly.
Maybe that's what she was all about. All right, let's see here. What were we going to get into? Oh, man, okay, you're a tech guy. You like all the tech stuff.
Whoa.
Well, no, you're more of a creative guy.
Yeah.
Forced to grapple with the tech. But who are your tech guys? I mean, I know we got
Jimmy.
some wicked tech guys around
We got
here.
Jimmy and we got Chief Engineer Britt, and then we got Brent.
Now, do Brent and Jimmy and all of these tech guys that we've assembled here, do they get along?
Oh yeah.
Do they really?
Well, Chief Engineer Britt, he's kind of like he's very alpha, or not really alpha, but he kind of wants to be like what he works on. Don't anyone else jack with it.
Here's what I like about Brent. Brent is military. And when it comes to doing a job, you want someone who is former military.
Yeah.
Because they will do the goddamn job. They won't dick around, you know? So I think that's Brent. Brent is very capable, but he also comes from a disciplined background in his work experience.
Yeah.
And maybe us and the rest of the assembled masses here aren't as disciplined.
Well, actually, you're right on. Brent comes from he has a big background, dude. He's been everything from a auto mechanic to a engineer in a recording studio to now doing what he does with McCourt Entertainment. So I mean, yeah,
to a lean and mean killing machine.
That's right.
All right. I wanted to talk about this. I love these tech stories. I can't wrap my mind around them because just unbelievable to me. A 17-year-old kid, man, just made $30 million, and he's still busy. He doesn't know what he's going to do with the money, Jansen, because he's busy studying for exams.
How much did he make again?
$30 million reported. $30 million. Not bad. His first idea. It says here, got a tech idea and want to make a fortune before you're out of your teens? Well, just do it, is the advice of the London schoolboy who just sold his smartphone news app to Yahoo for a reported $30 million. Now, everybody I know is making an app. Everybody's
making an app.
Everybody's working on an app. How difficult are they to make? Are they pretty basic? If you know someone who can write code,
they're pretty basic. Yeah,
however it is. So some of these, I guess, are being noticed and picked up. Although this story is a little bit less organic and sweet and grassrootsy as I may have initially thought. I mean, this kid is a rich kid to begin with. He lives in Wimbledon, which is outside of London. It's like the Highland Park. It's like the fancy smancy part of, it's where they have Wimbledon, the big hoity-toity tennis tournament. He goes to private school. You know, his dad's like some big hot shot. So he's
already rich.
Well, here's his story. He came up with this idea. It's like it boils down news stories to just certain paragraphs within the story, if that's all you're searching for, it's actually kind of a good idea. Because a lot of times when I'm doing the show, I'll be looking for just a certain chunk of the news story, but I got to go through like 1,000 words to get to it. Yeah. So it is kind of a good idea. But he comes up with this idea, and he takes it to his dad. These kids aren't allowed to fail. There might be a bunch of hillbilly kids in their back rooms that created the same thing, but when they took it to their dad said, "Shut up, I'm watching wrestling." This kid's dad goes, "Oh, that's interesting. Maybe we should call Uncle Rupert and see if he'd be interested in backing this." So an initial investment from Uncle Rupert Murdoch of Fox and News Corp, one of the richest people. He's not really an uncle, but apparently he's a friend of the family. He hooked them up with some investment bankers. So before this kid even knew it, he had 250 grand from some, venture capitalist that was hooked up to him by Rupert Murdoch. And then after that, all these people started coming in as Rupert Murdoch, Yoko Ono, Ashton Kutcher. The app is called Sumly, which is, I've never heard of it, but, maybe we all... Sumly.
Sumly.
Sumly. Sumly. And again, what it says it does is fairly interesting to me, but I don't know. I guess it's targeted towards people who are studying, who are students and all that. And so I don't know, probably hits a target demo that they're interested in. Hey, who doesn't want a bunch of 19-year-old customers, That seems to be what everybody's looking for. So $30 million. If you had $30 million at 17, what would you do with it? Because I'll tell you what this kid's going to do with it. What did you do with it? What would you do with $30 million? Now remember, at 17, not now.
Oh, well, see, yeah. Well, that's a horrible thing to have to put on. That's not fair. At 17, I would have bought a bunch of cars and houses and had it blown by probably 20.
$30 million.
Bunch of drugs. I'd have been a cokehead.
Yeah, right. But more specifically, if you were put yourself in 17-year-old you've just been given $30 million. What's the first thing you're going to do with it?
I would have bought a car.
17-year-old you.
I would have bought a car. Would have bought a house. I would have, maybe bought a sports team. I don't know,
$30 million, you can't buy a sports team.
Okay, well, I don't know. I would have just bought a bunch of material stuff, but that's because that's who I was then.
Yeah.
If now it'd be completely different.
Would you have thrown a party? First
absolutely.
thing, man.
Yeah,
first
big party.
thing, I find out that I get this money today. Today is what? Tuesday? Okay, so that means that tonight I'll check into the penthouse at the W. I will, what I won't, on the first night, what I'll do is I won't completely rent out all of that fancy club that they have there at the W Hotel. Just like a nice chunk of it. I'll have a nice chunk of it. And then, although it's Wednesday night or Tuesday night, there might not be a lot of people partying. What do I do the first night with my $30 million?
And you know what else we would have done?
I'll rent out a big chunk of it on Saturday night and invite all my friends. And then, because you ever seen the women that hang out there?
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's not a place I would hang out. I'm not saying that's my kind of place. I'm just saying I've recently come into $30 million. I'm getting some top-notch strange. And I'm going there, and that's where I'm doing my fishing. At the W. I'm gonna get some hot 27-year-old coked out party girl.
Yeah, but you're 17.
And her two friends.
You can't go to the club.
Oh, fuck! I'm 17.
Yeah, you ain't
see, look.
club, dude.
I guess it really hasn't changed what I do between 17 and now in my 40s. I guess I'd do the same thing. No, I'd go. Okay, I would.
But for $30 million, you could buy a fake ID.
Okay, no, $30 million. Let's take it back.
You're
30
buying
million.
a fake ID.
17. At 17 years old, I was living in Orland Park, Illinois. I was living in a condo on Orland Brook Drive. What would I have done at 17? All right, here's what I would have done. First of all, it's 1987-ish. Yeah, because I'm graduating high school. All right, my friend Kurt's parents are probably out of town, so that's good. They always went out of town. We always had parties. I got $30 million, dude. How much do you think in 1987 it would have costed to get Guns N' Roses to play your backyard party?
Wait a second. Hold on. I just had a thought. Is this even legally his money? I mean, this is his parents' money because he's not even an adult.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. It's
He
England.
can't do anything.
Let's
with
just
this
say it's
money.
England. It's different rules. It's his money.
He ain't doing nothing with it. Until
All right, let's say he's 18.
Okay.
All right, let's go back to being 18. Damn it, you just screwed up the whole thing. Okay, so now it's 1988. In 1988, who would I have done? I would have thrown a kick-ass party.
This was back when stocks, so you could have bought a bunch of stocks.
No, I'm
People did
18,
that.
dude. When I was 18,
What?
I was like, oh, this money would be gone by 23. Don't get me wrong. Oh, no. This is if I came into this money at 18, it'd be gone by 23. My mom would probably have gotten like 10 million of it, so she'd still be okay. But yeah, no, the 20 million that I have would be all gone.
Oh man, dude,
by
when I was
23.
14, I bought a bunch of stock in Foot Locker and made a bunch of money. Like, well, not a bunch. I made like $500 after, when it was all
did?
set. Yeah, it was great. It was like a, that's what we learned in like high school. Like, I took a business class and then I actually did it. It was like, hey,
Good Lord.
and I did it, and it was cool.
Look at you. And you're the one that ended up stabbed on your porch in your crackhead neighborhood.
Twice. I've been stabbed twice.
You know what I did to make money when I was in high school? I used to go up to the corner store, which was a White Hen Pantry, and I would rip it off blind. My friend's dad owned the place, so my friend would always turn his back, and I would fill up my pockets with candy bars and all kinds of shit, and then I'd go and I'd sell it at school. That's how I made money. See, I was already working a grift.
That's awesome.
You're investing. You're actually
Well,
learning
I did
something.
it one time, and it was cool. But yeah, I wouldn't do that anymore. Not in this market. Not in this economy.
Yeah, back when you were a 15-year-old
This was
and
back
you were
before
a
the
gambler.
crash. This was before the crash, man.
Yeah, Bright Lights, Big City. You were all about it back then. No, okay, so yeah, I would probably have Guns N' Roses play a party in my friend Kurt's backyard.
Yeah, they
if this
do it
is
for $1 million.
1987, $1 million?
Yeah, it cost about $1 million to get them.
And then they wouldn't show up because back then was when they weren't showing up for concerts. The cash, they would take the cash, and then they wouldn't show up. Then we'd end up with and people would be pissed. And, they'd all hate me. But no, wait, no, they wouldn't because I've got like $30 million. So they'll get over it.
Yeah.
They'll get over it. I don't know. I would not have been. This kid is reinvesting it in other companies, other like technology companies. And he's going to keep going to school. He's going to go on to college.
Right?
You got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. If I was 18 years old with $30 million, I might move to a college town, but I ain't going to college. I ain't going to class. Are you kidding me? I'm going to buy the biggest, coolest house. I'll find out where all my buddies are going. Like in my case, that would have been like Northern Illinois University. All my friends went off to Northern Illinois or University of Illinois or Illinois State or whatever. I would have found like the place that I was hanging out the most, which in reality turned out to be Northern Illinois University, and I would have bought like the biggest house there, and it just would have turned it into this insane balls out
like a frat
party.
house.
Yeah, except I wouldn't go to no classes. I ain't go. My friends could live there rent free and stuff. I don't care. I want the action. I want, I want like this house. See, you have got a house here that. But you're no fun. I mean, look at how you take care of it. It's because you're old now. If you had
not old. God, I'm only 30.
You're not 18.
Jeez.
What if you had this house? And we should describe this house. We are broadcasting live from a studios in a home.
When you do this.
Why? Why? I think it's awesome.
I don't. I honestly don't.
These
I really
are
hate
the
it
temporary studios of Deep Ellum. We used to be in a loft in Deep Ellum. But because of management troubles and all of that, we've moved out of that loft, and we are in the process of looking for a building to purchase in Deep Ellum. We'll have more details on that as they move forward. So we want to move the studios back into Deep Ellum, but in the meantime...
Or downtown.
And in the meantime, I mean, you want to talk about falling on your face and landing in, a pile of feathers. I mean, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
A home in Highland Park, Texas. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the area, just venture over to Wikipedia and just type in Highland Park, Texas, and read about it. We are in we're supposed to be an insurgent pirate type radio force, and we are broadcasting from the belly of the most affluent, conservative, uptight. I mean, my God. I mean, we can spin around a couple of times and throw a rock. We can hit President Bush's house. I mean,
Really? Is he that close?
Nah, he's up.
Okay.
He's up. I think at Walnut Hill. I think we're at Mockingbird, so he's up at Walnut Hill. But no, I mean, we're on the campus of Southern Methodist University.
Yeah.
Surrounded by all these beautiful, massive homes.
We're in the belly of the beast.
Yeah, and you take very good care of this house. This house is awesome. and I know you can't wait to get out of here because you're a little punk rocker at heart.
Yeah.
And you like don't want to be a part of the man's plan. But boy, I'll tell you, I'm a little bit older than you. I like these studios. I like being here.
Well, thank you.
Well,
But yeah, I'm ready to get back down there.
all right. Hey, let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll do a little watch list. We'll talk about some other things. Also, I'll visit the Facebook page again, see if there's anything we missed that you guys wanted to talk about. And maybe we'll be on our way for this edition of PMS. HireAHero.org presents PMS, the Pugs Moran Show, every day right here, noon to, well, whenever the hell we feel like getting out of here on DeepElemOnAir.com.
Live, local, in your neighborhood.
I want to try something radical.
This is Deep Ellum On Air, serving the DFW Metroplex. Live, DeepElumOnAir.com.
Close your eyes and I'll be there in your mind. Although I had to leave, my heart was never gone. I'll be back for you soon, and I'm not that far away. I'm not that far away. Wait for me, wait for you. Don't let me go, won't let you go. One step, then I'm coming home. One step, then I'm coming home. My hand in yours, hold it tight. Feel the warmth, lonely nights. Look up, we're under the same sky. One step, then I'm coming Stand in the door, looking, and there's a light around my silhouette in your eyes. Dance big and bright. Back in me, back in me. Wait for me, wait for you. Don't let me go, won't let you go. One step, then I'm coming home. One step, then I'm coming home. My hand in yours, hold it tight. Feel the warmth, lonely nights. Look up, we're under the same sky. One step, then I'm coming Wait for me, wait for you. Don't let me go, won't let you go. One step, then I'm coming home. One step, then I'm coming home. My hand in yours, hold it tight. Feel the warmth, lonely nights. Look up, we're under the same sky. One step, then I'm coming home.
Tell us what you want to hear. DeepElumOnAir.com.
8 months of clever deception
All right, who was that?
That was Derisory.
The Risery, another local band here on Deep Ellum on Air.
100%.
All right, very good. DeepEllumonair.com. HireAHero.org presents PMS Daily. PMS, the Pugs Moran Show. That's me. Hi. And you can hear us. We start at noon every day, and we go to, well, just about whenever. Full disclosure, I've been complaining to Jansen in the breaks here. The reason I may seem a bit scattered today is I took some sleeping pills last night. I was so geeked up, you know. I mean, yesterday I came in here, I was loaded for bear. I had everything memorized. I knew exactly what, and I really over-prepared because we had been having problems here in the studios at Deep Ellum on Air. I shouldn't say we have been having problems. I have been having problems with my computer. For some reason, my computer did not work well at all in the studio. So coming into show one over the weekend, it's like I over-prepped with stuff, and I was banking on the fact that the computer wasn't going to work. So I basically memorized everything that I had to do. You know, I didn't think I was going to be able to scroll, and I was using everything. I mean, I had some things that were pulled up as emergency stuff, you know, that I wasn't going to need to scroll. Like if the screen froze, I could still just pull up something that I had already opened. Yeah. I can't do anything on the page, but, you know, I can at least look at that page. I had that. But so last night, I was like, I don't know, I was all geeked up. I listened back to the show. That's why there's no cameras here today, folks. I'm sorry.
People are complaining, by the way. Have you seen that?
Well, look, here's my belief, and I'm a traditionalist. Okay, this form of communication is called, at its most basic level, spoken word. Okay, spoken word is meant to be heard. It's meant to be listened to. There is no accompanying video that should go along with spoken word. I don't want you looking at a screen. I want you just listening. You know, this is designed for headphones and you at work. Here, I will describe to you who I think is listening and who this show is for. And it's the exact same person that the show has been for the last 12, 13 years. And when we were on CBS here in town, this is who the show was for. You sitting at your desk with earbuds in. That's it. That's who it's for. The everyday workaday person. This is a midday show. We are here to keep you company while you do whatever it is that you don't want to do. Now, back when we were on terrestrial radio, that included the guy in the car who was going from job site to job site or going from, sale call to sale call. It was for them as well. We don't have that. We're not there technologically. Someday we will be. Someday you'll be able to pull this up in your car, no problem, and then you too will be one of my target demos. But right now I imagine someone sitting at their desk doing other things. So I just think the camera and the video is a distraction to them, and they're less likely to listen if there's something that's going to take them even more away from their job. Does that make any sense? That, and I am a disgusting fat pig, I can't stand looking at myself.
I think you're like the hipster of online streaming now. You just, you're
keeping it real.
Yeah.
Dude, that's what it is. I am keeping it real. Radio people. Here's what radio people are. And this is why I resent the hell like Billy the Kid. I resent the hell out of him. Because he's not supposed to be a radio person. He's supposed to be a TV person. He's good looking. He cares about his look, and he's got cool hair and really cool clothes. Get the hell off radio, dude. Radio is for ugly people. It is. It's for ugly people. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. My entire life growing up, I listened to these people on the radio. And then because it was my calling, because it was something that I was drawn to do, more so than other 12, 13-year-olds, I would actually look for these people. I would find out where they were going to be and then make my mom drive me there. Or when my friends started driving on a Saturday afternoon, I would say, hey, let's go to this place. There's a DJ standing in front of a supermarket. I was the person who came out. That was me. I just wanted to see them. And guess what? 100% of the time, I was just so depressed after seeing them. Because you hear their voice and you think of a certain, you create the face. Mm-hmm. You create, and it always turns out to be some weaselly looking, gross old fat dude, and it's never like the, I'm imagining George Clooney behind the mic, you know, and every freaking woman is Megan Fox. Just that's who she is. Doesn't matter. It's Megan Fox. And then you see her and you're like, oh, gross. She's the lunch lady.
Wow, so there's not a lot of hot radio chicks? I mean, because I've
There
seen
are now.
a lot of hot.
There are now.
Oh, okay.
This is a new phenomenon. This is like within the last 15 years. As soon as radio as soon as all entertainment went online, that's when people started getting good looking again. Because now we're talking about visuals. Now suddenly there's a bunch of deep voiced, really ugly dudes that can't get work now because some good looking guy with a deep voice is now not just concentrating on TV, but he's working in radio first because radio will now get you on TV. Hey, you ever watched that Dish Nation show?
Nope.
Do you know what it is?
No.
All right. I can't watch it because it's an idea that I created and it's been stolen from me. It's a show. It's on after TMZ on Fox, and it takes you around the country with cameras in morning show studios. And it's basically a current events, quick little thing. They're talking about all the stuff that morning shows talk about. For instance, I don't know, today it might be the $30 million kid. Although maybe that broke, maybe that wasn't something they talked about today, because maybe that broke later in the morning. But at any rate, it just shows all the topics that all the morning shows are talking about, and we get to see all these people. And it's so weird. There is nothing sadder than a formerly massively popular disc jockey crashing into his 60s. Because they all have money at this point, and they've all lived a pretty nice life, but they still want to be 30 because the demo demands that they're 30. Like 60-year-old guys doing KISS formats. That's hysterical to me. And now you get to see them, and they're all, for instance, you know who Scott Shannon is?
Sounds familiar.
Scott Shannon is a guy who is credited with creating the Morning Zoo. Certainly you've heard of the Wacky Morning Zoo.
Yeah.
Every city in America had a Wacky Morning Zoo. Well, Scott Shannon is the guy who first called his show the Morning Zoo. Okay. And he had great success with it. And it turned into a whole format and a concept. And instead of just being a bunch of guys, honking on a Shecky horn and dropping their pants every chance they get, it turned into something much more because Scott Shannon decided that was worth something. You ought to see. Scott Shannon is now like 70. And he is still doing that kind of format. He's still talking up, Kelly Clarkson records and trying to, but he's like Imus. He's like super old, and he's still popular. I mean, I guess they do. I think it's Scott and Todd in New York who are kind of like what Craddock would be here in Dallas. But I mean, they're still popular. They seem to still be working. But you ought to see what this guy looks like. Oh my God. First of all, he thinks that the haircut for him is the haircut that he had in 1986. So he's still got this like 1986 kind of hair, kind of I'm hip, look at me, I'm cool, cutting edge haircut. But he has had, and you'd think in New York City they would have access to, great surgeons. His face is gross. Oh, do you got him? Did you put him up? Can you put him up on the screen? Scott, let me come over there and look at him. How do you do that to yourself? Let's see, is it really bad? Yeah, that's a pretty bad one right there. Oh, but he kind of changed his haircut, though. He doesn't have the big, thick, like 1980s hair. Now he's got like 1997 Christian youth evangelist hair. That's what I would say. It's blonde, sort of a two-tone blonde with sort of semi-frosted tips. All right, Jensen's going to put that picture up. So if you are watching, I guess I just gave you a reason to watch the video, I suppose. But you don't have to actually watch me. Well, I'm going to sit back down now. You got him up? Yeah, okay, like that guy. That guy, there is nothing sadder to me. I mean, on some level, he's laughing at me because I'm broadcasting in a back room in Highland Park, Texas, and he's still Scott Shannon. But I just hope I age more gracefully than that. I hope I just don't try and hang on too long. I think that you're all right if like at 50 or 55 you want to get a little work done, that's fine. But if you're like pushing 60 and you're on your fifth facelift, at some point, I mean, do you think that's just bad doctoring or is that too much?
Yeah, man, it's like they get addicted to it, right? Don't you think?
Yeah, well,
he looks like a Frankenstein almost. I got another one that I don't have time to pull it up, but it's freaky looking. Yeah. Why would he do that?
Well, I think he's trying to hold on to his misspent youth. He doesn't want to. And also, I think he thinks he's fooling people. Because he's playing music that appeals to 15-year-olds. I think that he thinks they see him and go, oh, yeah, he's one of us. I don't know. I mean, a creepy old grandpa. I don't know. At some point, man, now I know some jocks that I grew up with that actually they matured properly. And once they hit 40, they moved from the hit music station over to the classic rock station. And then once they hit 50, they moved over to the oldie station. You know, they did it right. They progressed up. There's a guy in Chicago named Dick Biondi who has played his career. You've probably never heard of this guy, but he has played his career. I'm so jealous. Everybody in radio just needs to look at this guy's career and how he did it. He never changed one bit about his act. Every time his audience got older, he just moved to the new station that they were at. And now the guy's like 80 years old and he's still playing, you know, Fats Domino and shit like that to a bunch of old people. But God bless him. He did it legitimately. Scott Shannon's a freak. Scott Shannon is a 70-something-year-old man playing the latest Adele cut to 15-year-olds. It's so bizarre. God. Although he makes a lot of money.
Yeah, New York. It's the number one spot.
Oh man, that guy is weak. See, I'm a bit of a. I'll share. I'm a bit of a radio historian. I'm a bit of a radio, like if there's any book or if there's any biography, I don't care. If you are the number one morning guy in Miami for 20 years and you put out a book about your career, I'll read it. Even if I don't even know who the hell you are, I'll read it.
That's cool.
I like that stuff. Hey, did you ever finish watching that documentary series I told you to watch?
No, because then I started watching Search for Sugarman.
Trying to get Jansen. I'm trying to inspire Jansen. He's as the elder statesman of Deep Ellum on it. Am I the oldest guy here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's next? How old is Stanton? He looks like he's old.
No, he's
older.
He's my age.
He's your age?
But Brent's gonna be under you. I don't know how old he is exactly. I think he's maybe 35 or something. I don't know.
All right. Well, I'm trying to keep Jansen inspired with what he's doing. So I try to send him like information and I want him to see stuff. Like I think I told you to go read about Cliff here in town, how Cliff started, and how that guy. Isn't that shit fascinating? Yeah. KLIF grew to be one of the biggest radio stations in the entire country. Started from this guy's back bedroom. You know, I mean, that's sort of inspiring.
Brent said he's 39. He just texted me. He's listening. By
All right, yeah. Brent's up there too, so I don't feel that bad then. When is he gonna turn 40?
He just had a birthday. So.
Oh, all right. So. Good for him.
But yeah, so I'm gonna finish watching it. I promise. I did. I found it, and I
suggested he start watching the Ken Burns documentary, Radio Empire of the Airwaves, which was also really interesting.
It's great.
Yeah,
I liked it. I like that kind of stuff too. My mom lives in Montana, and I went to a small town. I forgot what it's called. But anyway, they had like a bunch of old radios, and I was reading about how they worked, and the whole thing is really cool.
That's the thing. I'm always looking for shit to collect. I always want to be a collector.
I have a bunch of old radios. That's what I started. I started collecting them.
Yeah, I would like to do. I mean, I can't do that now, but next when I start to rebuild and accumulate things again. I think that's gonna be what I'm gonna start collecting. And my old partner Kelly, you know what she started collecting? Rolling pins. Yeah, you'd walk into her kitchen, she had rolling pins everywhere. What a bad. I mean, I'm telling you, if you're a dude, and this is when she was single, I never said this to her, but if you're a dude and you walk into a girl's house and she's got rolling pins everywhere, that's a ball buster. She's gonna be standing on the front porch smacking that thing upside your head. Yeah. Rolling pins. I think she fell off that one pretty quick though. She was always good at hobbies. She would always come up with something. I could never really come up with anything. TV. I guess TV is my hobby.
Yeah, I went to an estate sale and bought some really old radios that were in like brand new, even still in boxes from like the 60s. Like I bought this one small little pocket radio that's like pre-iPod, like the size of an iPod, but it was from the 60s. It's really cool.
I don't think I want radios. I think I want microphones. I think I want to start collecting microphones.
Those are expensive though, man.
Like old-timey ones?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to, in my fantasy world where I'm collecting these things, I've got money.
Okay, well there you go.
I've got plenty of money. And they're in a huge case in my trophy room because I've won a lot of trophies as well.
Yeah, there's some really cool
I mean,
ones.
not in reality, folks. I've not won a lot of trophies, but I will in my fantasy world where I'm collecting microphones. I will have a lot of trophies
That'd be cool.
for other things,
Microphones, I like that.
like I don't know what, TV watching. By that point, maybe there'll be some way to commercialize that ability. Are you good at anything? I was thinking about this.
I am.
What are you good at?
I'm good at surfing, skiing, outdoors, rock climbing, that kind of thing.
Really?
Yeah, I'm really good at it.
Damn.
Skimboarding. I'm actually, dude. I could have.
Well, you're pretty athletic,
gone
though.
pro at skimboarding. Seriously.
Yeah, you're very athletic. I mean, I can see that. You've got an athlete's body, and not that I'm checking you out. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You look nimble. And you're small. Well, not small, but you're not tiny, but you are. If any of my friends would be like an Olympic gymnast, I would say you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like
I'm good at that stuff.
You're built
yeah.
like a gymnast or a ninja.
A ninja.
Or whatever.
There you go. Yes, I like that. That's even.
Yeah,
better.
I'm not good at anything. I'm really not good at anything. You know what I'm good at? I'm good at stuff that there's just no way to make money off of. Like I'm good. Okay, for instance, people will always say, "Oh, you're really good at trivia." No, you know what? I'm not. I have seen people who are really good at trivia, and you know what? I can hold my own. I think any level trivia team could do well to have me in their ranks. I think I could be a teammate on like a championship-winning trivia team. But man, I used to think I was really good at trivia, and then you see some of these, you play some of these online trivia games, and you get to like the elite level, and it's like, oh, nope. So that's gone. So I can't go make my fortune on game shows. There was honestly, you want to know how crazy I was as a kid? There was a point in my life where I thought that I could actually make a living as a professional game show contestant. I thought, because I'd watched so much TV and I had mastered like every game show. Like I figured them out.
That's cool.
I was, yeah. There was about a 10
We're like
years.
the Ken Burns. Is that Ken Burns, right? The guy who keeps winning Jeopardy or whatever.
I don't know. Ken Burns is the documentarian, but yeah, I don't know who you're talking about. But yeah, there is some dude. But and then like that. Remember, not I Married a Millionaire. What was that show? I Want to Be a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Whatever. The show that saved ABC. Regis Philbin hosted it.
Oh.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yeah.
Isn't that it?
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
the
Who
show?
Wants to Be a Millionaire,
Okay.
yeah.
And I remember when that show first started, man, I watched, for about 10 years straight, I watched every episode of Jeopardy at 3:30 in the afternoon. I either recorded it on my DVR or whatever. I didn't watch Wheel of Fortune. I thought that was ridiculous.
Really?
I thought it was ridiculous. Wheel of Fortune, I mean, where are they getting these people? I mean, these people aren't game show. Remember, at this point, I thought I was going to be a game show contestant, a professional. And I would look at the Wheel of Fortune contestants like, oh, you got to be kidding me. Who are these people? Who are these rookies? These people don't belong on game shows. These people are stupid. You know, it was a dumb show. I felt better than Wheel of Fortune because I was a Jeopardy guy.
Have you been on a game show?
No, never been on one. No.
My mom was on Price is Right.
Was she?
Yeah.
Yeah, how'd she do?
Dude, she won the showcase. She won an airplane.
Whoa!
A boat.
Wait, she won an airplane?
Yeah, one of those small little, airplanes. But she didn't. She actually just got cash for it. But she did.
Yeah, I figured that's how it works.
She kept the boat. She won a chandelier and a bicycle built for two.
What year is this?
This was 88, maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
Your mom was. That is awesome,
Yeah.
man.
She was a flight attendant, and she was supposed to actually go to, I think, Wheel of Fortune.
Ooh, so your mom was hot. Because
Yeah,
that's
she's-
back when a flight attendant still had to be
Yeah,
hot.
she's pretty. She's real pretty.
Yeah.
But yeah, she went to Price is Right, and she didn't really want to be on it. They make you fill out the thing,
So what, you had to have been like 10, 12?
No,
Like-
I was like 5 or 6.
Oh, you were that little. So
Yeah.
you didn't like watch her?
Yeah, we watched I remember me and my dad watching it, but then we also recorded it. So then,
Sure.
like later on, I'd show my friends, "Hey, is my mom on Price is Right?" That kind of thing.
And she won.
Yeah.
Good for her. Yeah. That's another rookie show. I looked down my eyes at that too. Because they were just pulling grubs out of the audience.
Yeah, they were. And she
Yeah.
didn't even want to be on it, and she got on it.
And then, do you remember the show Tic Tac Doe or Joker's Wild?
No.
Oh man, these were game shows designed for total idiots. These questions were like, fill in the blank. In the Garden of Eden, there was Adam and. I mean, those were the kind of questions they had.
Wow.
I know, you're kidding me. And you jump over to Jeopardy and you get really challenged by an audio daily double or something like that. Well, yeah, I used to want to be a game show guy. Do you watch any game shows now? I mean, are game shows kind of had a comeback between like 98 and 2000. Here, actually, I'll tell you how it happened. around 1998, I think it was, is when ABC television network was in just a crap load of trouble. And nobody was watching ABC. There was nothing on there. So they gambled everything on a prime. They had so little programming that they decided to put a game show in primetime, which was unheard of. You hadn't seen a game show in primetime since the whatevers, but it had been a number of years. Primetime television was for scripted sitcoms or drama. And the reason they didn't do it with game shows was because game shows were always relegated to TV, daytime TV. They were relatively low to produce, and they, didn't target a particularly desirable demographic, which is why they were, relegated to where they were. So when ABC decided that they were going to do a game show on the prime time, it was a huge deal. And it was Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with Regis Philbin. And that's why jokingly they referred to Regis Philbin around the halls of ABC as Regis Christ, because he saved the network. Yeah. He said when he did Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and that show became a mammoth hit. I mean, it spun every kind of. All of a sudden, NBC is now doing a game show in prime time. Where did they get? You are the weakest link. I mean, remember, all of these copycat game shows started popping up in prime time all the way through just a couple of years ago when they were force feeding us Howie Mandel 5 nights a week. Yeah. Remember that show? Yeah. What was that? Win, lose, or win?
I don't know.
Draw, whatever it was. I never watched. That show was awful.
He's weird.
That show was awful. But you know what killed the game show? The game show, everyone looked at the game show and they went, holy cow, wait a second now. So we don't have to pay Ted Danson $100,000 an episode anymore. We can just give $100,000 away for the entire hour. You know what I mean? They're looking at this from a cost-effective standpoint. So everyone moved towards game shows, right? And everyone's like, oh, we can produce game shows? And look at the audiences they're getting over on ABC for a game show. Obviously, America is all right with watching game shows in prime time. So we here at NBC, we're going to do The Weakest Link. Boom, Weakest Link becomes a huge hit now, too. Suddenly, game shows are coming from everywhere. Oh, my God, is this the game show revolution? And then wham! CBS puts on Survivor. And suddenly there are no more game shows, and all we got, Survivor was pitched like this. It's a game show, but it's a little different twist on a game show. And that's what happened. That was the bridge. It went from getting rid of the overpaid writers, directors, actors, and all of that occupied the bulk of the television network budgets, replacing them with game shows where you had maybe 1/10 the price and getting the same amount of audience because we Americans are fucking stupid and we just sat there, okay, yeah. We don't appreciate art, the written word, acting, nothing. We have lowered our standards so much that we're accepting Howie Mandel holding up a briefcase and going, is there something in it or not? I mean, that was the whole fucking point of that stupid game show. You want to talk about, ouch, that's my balls. I mean, we've already reached that point, folks.
I just remember watching it and going, I don't get it. I'm lost. Oh,
it was so fucking stupid. I'm sorry to be swearing, but I'm just really, when people, I like the Howie Mandel show. You are a fucking idiot. You like that Howie Mandel? Seriously? It's a briefcase. Is there money in it? That's all that show is. There's no skill. It's all guesswork. It's luck. It's total luck. There's no one to admire on that show. Just a bunch of high-priced escorts holding up briefcases on a stage. That's all that stupid show was. And then Howie Mandel refusing to shake hands with people. He's got that phobia where he doesn't touch people.
Afraid of germs or something.
So, but look at how that changed. I mean, look at how that switch just occurred. I mean, it went from, and it's all about, the reason that we are being force-fed Honey Boo Boo now is because the networks learn from us, the great unwashed, that we will fucking watch anything. We ain't gonna complain. Sure, if you put on something really good, we might appreciate it, but doesn't really matter. Put on crap, because all we're gonna do after we work is sit down on the couch and watch whatever the fuck you put on. Fucking Honey Boo Boo. Have you ever seen that?
Unfortunately, I mean, I hadn't watched any of the show. I don't have TV. I haven't had TV
show makes me
years,
sad.
But I've seen, the people making fun of it.
This is like yesterday. Memes. This is like yesterday when I was talking about, why can't we just be nicer to one another? We all just need to be cooler to one another. And maybe this place would be a lot easier to navigate, this life that we all live. But Honey Boo Boo is an example of the entire country gathering around a TV, pointing and going, ha, look at the dumb fat little girl. That's what we're doing, and don't kid yourself. Yeah. Nobody is watching that show because you want to be like them. You're not aspiring to live the life of Honey Boo Boo. You're looking and you're pointing, oh my God, the mom is so fat. Can you believe she's on TV? Oh, she's like your Aunt Martha. And it spurs a little conversation in the family and everybody's happy. But you're not really progressing the big movement. And that big movement is us as a people, as a universe, moving forward, getting smarter. We're getting dumber. That's just my take.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
People in the chat box are agreeing with you, too, by the way. Idiocracy is here, people.
Oh, it is. It's been here. It's been here. It was here. It was here the minute the networks decided that they weren't even going to try to create art anymore and that they were just going to force feed us whatever us, big, dumb, mindless dogs that we are, would sit and watch. I mean, look at... Now look, all right, call me hypocrite all you want. There are certainly shows that I love. Yesterday I was talking about how I love Celebrity Apprentice, but I love that for a whole bunch of different reasons. I love that because I'm a star fucker. I like celebrities. I like to read about celebrities. And I know that this is also another big problem that we have here in America, but so what? Screw me. I come on the radio and I talk about this shit and you people seem to want it anyway, so why not? We're all happy. But Celebrity Apprentice is different. Celebrity Apprentice is just me getting upset at Donald Trump. That's an emotion, and that's something that they all strive for when you make art. You strive to get an emotion out of somebody. So, okay, so you got the emotion, I hate Donald Trump. And then, you know, come on, Gary Busey's amusing. Gary Busey's amusing. And I don't feel as guilty sitting around my TV pointing and going, oh, that guy's really fucking weird, as I do pointing at my TV and going, look at the fat little honey boo-boo girl. Gary Busey's a grown man. I personally think Gary Busey, with a lot of these eccentricities, I think he's making an acting choice. I think a long time ago, Gary Busey somehow started to get a reputation as being a little bit weird, and he decided, well, I'm not getting movie roles. This seems to be what people are interested in, so now I'm just going to be professional Busey. And that's what he is.
Crazy.
He's professional Busey. He can't be legit. There's no way that the guy that I watch on Celebrity Apprentice every week, there is no way that that guy doesn't burn down his Malibu beach home every time he cooks. Because that guy is completely on a different planet.
I don't remember who it was, but I met someone that actually did some work with Gary Busey, and no, he really is crazy.
No, he came in, man, and he did our show, and I sat across from him for an hour and tried to have a conversation with him, and it was, man, but don't forget, have you ever seen the Buddy Holly story?
No.
That's Gary Busey. Gary Busey is a world-class actor when he wants to be, and he is putting on this role. The role of crazy Gary Busey is like the greatest role of his life. I mean, my God, he transforms. You wouldn't recognize him. You could sit down today and watch the Buddy Holly story and watch it 3 times in a row and have no idea that that's Gary Busey playing Buddy Holly. He was nominated for an Oscar for Best Actor. I mean, the guy is unbelievable. But, you know, then he had a couple motorcycle accidents without a helmet, and now we got this guy. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll do the watch list. We'll finish up the TV talk and put a nice red bow on today's Tuesday show. It is HireAHero.org presents DeepElemOnAir.com's PMS, the Pugs Moran Show. Back after this.
I said my feet won't touch the ground, so lay your head down. Lay your head down on me. I will rest now. Won't feel no stress now. I'm high like the moon now, and I will wait for you to protect me. Kill who's against me. I'm high like the palm tree. I wanna make love to you. I said my feet won't touch the ground, so lay your head down. I said my feet won't touch the ground, so lay your head down. Lay your head down on me. In the clouds I lost you, baby. In the clouds clouds I lost you, baby. We all get lonesome here. We all get lonesome. We all get lonesome. We all get lonesome. Yeah, I said my feet won't touch the ground, so lay your head down. Lay down. I said my feet won't touch the ground, so lay your head down. Lay your head down. Lay your head down. On me. In the clouds I lost you, baby.
DeepElementAir.com, Loyal Sally, PMS, the Pugs Moran show, heard every day, Monday through Friday, here at noon. I really like the Loyal Sally.
Yeah, they're great.
They're like regulars around here, aren't they?
Well, yeah, one of the guys, Michael, he helps co-host Hungover with V on
Really?
Sundays. Yeah.
Really? Yeah, I like them. You can find, where do you find all this music that we play?
What do you mean?
Where can you find it?
Just Google Loyal Sally. They're all over the place.
Okay, all right.
Reverb Nation.
Any shows on the network that might feature them? Hungover with V?
Hungover with V. Yeah, they were in. Oh, they're gonna be on. Well,
talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, the Loyal Sally are great. They're big supporters of Deep Elementary. They're here literally every week.
That's, you know what, you know so much more about the local music here, and only over the course of the last few months have I been sort of taking a crash course.
It's all I listen
in a lot
to.
of these groups. Yeah, it's all you do. It's all you promote. It's basically what the core of Deep Element Air is all about. You know what? I've got a lot of friends who are listening elsewhere around the country and stuff like that, and who hear this. Explain to someone in, say, Chicago, what Deep Ellum is.
Deep Ellum. Okay.
Because they hear Deep Ellum on air, but what is Deep Ellum? What does it mean? What does it mean historically?
Every big city has that area in your city that all is the rock and roll, is where the cool eclectic clubs
the
are.
Tattoo shops.
The tattoo shops. In Memphis, I used to live in Memphis. In
Art
Memphis,
galleries.
it's Bill Street. You know, they all have
in
those
Chicago,
areas.
Chicago was an area called Bucktown.
Well, there you go. See, that's what you say. You say it's Bucktown on air.
Yeah.
Where you're bringing all the artists, all the musicians that accumulate and make that area.
The only difference is
put them on air.
If we are calling ourselves the Bucktown, then we're broadcasting from Winnetka. That's just a little something for the Chicago people, because we're in Highland Park.
Shout out to Bucktown.
But we're gonna get back to Deep Ellum very soon.
Very soon.
After they figure us out that we're not allowed. I don't think we're allowed to live here. I don't think they want people like us.
No, they don't. They definitely don't.
Yeah, historically, I mean, Deep Ellum, when I first moved to Texas, the name itself is derived from the street, Elm Street.
Yeah.
Which runs straight down. It's the drag, man. It's not necessarily the red light district of Dallas, but it's where if you want to see the top local music bands in North Texas, you go to the clubs in Deep Ellum. You know, they don't have shit bands. It's all bands that got their stuff together, and it's not like you're going to be out in the suburbs at some burger joint and they got a band on Friday night. No, you're seeing real professional local music. Big name acts as well are always playing up and down, the clubs in Deep Ellum. But you'll also, you can get drunk and get a tattoo. You can you get into a fight in a parking lot with skinheads maybe. I mean, it's the art part of town. It's the punk rock neighborhood. And you're right. Every city's kind of got that. And Deep Ellum, when I first moved here, it was coming back it had, and this is around 2000, everybody was saying it was coming back, it had had some glory days in the mid-90s.
Yeah.
With the, some of the big bands that went national that came out of Deep
Nirvana.
Ellum. Well, yeah, like Nirvana would have played their first show at a bar in Deep Ellum.
They did.
Yeah.
There's a famous video of them at Trees.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, all of that stuff. And there were some bands that broke out of Deep Ellum and stuff. Toadies, just comes to mind. Tripping Daisy, bands like that. But then it went into a steep decline. Like right after it had this initial mid-90s movement, it went into steep decline and it became crime-riddled. And
I know
bars
why.
started to close. And then, why?
Oh, well, I can tell you. It's because when I first moved to Deep Ellum, I had heard about it as my, coming to Texas during Christmas. My cousins were like, yeah, we got Deep Ellum. It's really cool. And so, and then I get here and it was a ghost town, right? So I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
So I do all
Where
these
did
shows.
all the artists go?
Yeah, like my Going Deep the local show, like the first 3 shows, that's all it was about was what happened to Deep Ellum. Like I interviewed people that were here then, and so this is what happened. I'll break it down for you real simple. The hip hop clubs came in, and then you had
grunge and alternative
you had
rock,
the rock
was replaced
right?
by.
But then at this
hip-hop.
time, that rap, it was really, we're not even gonna call it hip hop. We'll call it what it is. It was rap, and it was
Gangsta
it was gangster rap, and that's all it was, and it was violent. And so that mentality with this at the time grungy rock and roll, it clashed and it caused problems, and it drove out the businesses.
The two types of music crashing together. You've got the punk rockers and now the rappers.
The gangster rappers.
Yeah, they just didn't get along.
They didn't get along at
Well,
all.
we could have used an impromptu concert by Run DMC and Aerosmith.
Yeah, that'd been awesome.
It would have brought everyone together.
Maybe we should do that.
Would've been- So that happened, and then when I got here to town about 2000, it was starting to come back. There were, I was going to a lot of shows in the early days in Deep Ellum, and I always felt safe. I had a friend, a very wealthy friend, who bought a loft and had a really cool condo down there, right in the middle of it all, and it was coming back. But then about 5, 6, 7 years ago, it just crashed and burned again.
Yeah.
And it got really bad. Around 2005, 2006, 2007, I would not have gone near Deep Ellum. And I was there every Friday and Saturday night in 2001, 2002, 2003. I mean, it just got really bad.
And that's when I moved there.
And that's when you first moved in. It was really bad.
Dude, it was a ghost town.
But what has happened now is alternative media has taken over. And a lot of the .com and the techie type kids, those sorts of artists, are now relocating to Deep Ellum. I mean, you've got all kinds of. There's probably more servers in Deep Ellum than. I mean, there's people that are just moving in and building these small companies.
You're absolutely right.
And that's sort of what's bringing a more. I mean, you're starting to see sidewalk cafes. Mm-hmm. You're starting to see you don't get panhandled everywhere you go anymore. You're seeing more police presence. I mean, it really is. It's coming back. I mean, the new media, it could very well save Deep Ellum. Deep Ellum could become that sort of a viable community again because of all of these .coms and stuff.
Well, and no one wants it to be how it was at that, back in its heyday where you couldn't even drive down the street because it was so packed. I mean, I've seen videos where seriously, Main and Elm would just be packed, like wall to wall of people, like you couldn't even drive down it.
Yeah. Man, you know what? I may have spoke too soon. My computer just went. I know I'm having that problem again. All right. Oh, boy. Hold on. Let me try and... All right. Well, you know what? Here's what we'll do. We'll just wrap everything up. We made it most of the show. I don't know what happened. Did something change?
Yeah, I don't know. I can.
Your brother playing video games?
Yeah, probably. I heard him come home earlier, so yeah.
Fuck. All right. Well, when the little brother upstairs starts playing the video games, it affects the feed into the studio, into my computer. So
we'll take care of that.
Yeah, but we're almost done anyway. So what do you say? We'll do a little watch list. I'll tell you some things to watch on TV tonight. Although now I don't have access to my list, so I will tell you.
You don't need it. It's all in your head, though.
Yeah, most of it. Somebody, when I was going off on my rant on Honey Boo Boo, somebody typed in something about The Neighbors. Have you ever, about people don't get The Neighbors, nobody's watching The Neighbors because they think it's stupid?
I've never even heard of it.
The Neighbors is on before Modern Family. It's like one of the cush spots in primetime television. If you were a new show, that's a good place to be because you know everybody's going to catch the last couple minutes of your show. They may tune in because they're all tuning in for Modern Family because that's like the most watched sitcom on TV. So ABC has this show. It's called The Neighbors. And, you know, it's doing okay. Critically, it's doing better than it is with, you know, people actually tuning in. But it's been enough that I think ABC has renewed it, so it's not going to get canceled. But it's a really kind of interesting show. It's the story of, all right, Jansen, I'll give you here. This is basically the summary of what Neighbors are.
Hey, try to get back online.
Yeah, okay. All right, let's try this. So a summary of what the show Neighbors is. And this is on tomorrow night, by the way. This is not even on tonight. Neighbors is the story. There is this golf community in New Jersey where they decide to build a home community around the golf course. And somebody comes in secretly and buys up every house in this golf community. Okay? And obviously that's going to be good to the developers. Like, okay, you want to come in and buy every unit? We're totally sold out. We've only been for sale for a minute and you're going to totally buy out the entire community. So all these people move into this golf community and they just live in the golf community. They don't ever leave. There's never any for sale. Oh, and it's this beautiful place and everybody wants to live there, but none of the units ever come up for sale. Like it's the hardest place to get into. And finally, one of the, all right, so I'll tell you what the deal is. They're all aliens from another planet who wanted to come and live amongst us. So they saw that there was this whole community. So they bought it all up, moved all the aliens, and they look like human beings. And, you know, they mix about. They're observing us. For what reason, we don't know. Although there has been,
Paco might know.
There have been some hints that, you know, there's some bad things that might be coming. Their plans might be bad, but whatever. So one of the aliens decides to escape. And he does it secretly and he doesn't tell anybody. And without telling anybody, he sells his unit to this couple from New Jersey who are looking to escape to the suburbs. So it's this couple, they move in, and suddenly they realize that all of their neighbors are aliens from another planet. And it's just it's an interesting way of looking at American life. Because all of these aliens are looking and observing this typical American family and having comments on it. And they've become friends, and these people understand that they're all aliens. It sounds stupid, but if you watch it, it's really smart. And it's really funny. I mean, the writing is really good. There's one of these guys. Here's something you might enjoy. Because they knew very little about American culture, all of the aliens have the names of sports athletes. Like the main aliens are Larry Bird and Jackie Joyner Kersey. And their children are Reggie Jackson and Dick Butkus. And the people across the street are Mike Tyson and, some other female, Mary Lou Retton. And everybody, all the aliens that live, and they all just address them like that. Oh, hi, Johnny Bench. You know, it's like it's a funny show. But nobody is watching it because it sounds stupid. The pitch sounds stupid. And it's actually very, I don't know. I like the show. I like that show. That's going to be one of my picks to click for tomorrow. That into Modern Family. You watch Modern Family?
Dude, I don't have a TV. I don't watch anything.
Modern Family's really good.
This is what I do watch. I watch Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Oh my God. Yeah.
I watch
I'm in the middle of
Sons of
season 2
Anarchy.
now. Sons of Anarchy. Awesome.
I watch Breaking Bad.
I don't watch Breaking Bad. I try.
I can't believe that. That's
I know.
weird. You're a TV guy. You don't watch Breaking Bad? That doesn't make no sense whatsoever.
I know.
You got to get through like a few episodes in season 1, though.
Well, but I think I watched all of season 1.
Oh, you know
I was going through. There was a lot of shit going on, and I don't think I took to that show for maybe other reasons. But look, I agree. Everybody says it's a great show.
And I watch The Walking Dead.
See, I don't watch Walking Dead either, and I hear that's awesome as well.
I'm not even a zombie guy. I don't like zombies.
I like zombies.
See, I don't even care less about zombies. But this great show.
Yeah,
it's a really good show because it's like how things would be if it really did happen. You know, it's very realistic.
Well,
There's these people trying to survive, and they're going through houses, taking stuff, and creating little communities as much as they can.
Are you watching The Americans?
No, I've never even heard of it. What is it?
Man, are you kidding me? Well, you don't have TV. That's why.
Yeah.
All right, The Americans is one of a number of shows that FX rolls into that 9 o'clock Tuesday slot or 9 o'clock Wednesday, whatever it is. FX has a number of shows. Every show that FX produces is fantastic, whether it's Sons of Anarchy. Before that, it was The Shield, Rescue Me. I mean, all of the shows, Damages, all of the shows that they do are just top tier, best on television, should win a trophy every year. Just great stuff. Well, The Americans is the latest one, and it's set in 1980 or 1981 or something like that in the suburbs of Washington, D.C. at the height of the Cold War. So if you don't remember what the Cold War was like, watch this show. And it's basically about an all-American couple who live amongst us, and, you know, they're our friends and they're our golf partners. But this all-American couple happens to be agents for the KGB.
Oh.
They're Russian spies living among... It's fucking great, man. It's really good.
How long has it been out?
This is season 1, and it's only been on for like 7 episodes or so, but season 2, they've been renewed for season 2.
See, what I do is
Carrie Russell, Felicity, plays the female Russian spy.
Oh, okay. I'll usually wait until a couple seasons passes, and then I'll go like buy the season or download it.
How about Homeland? You watch Homeland at all?
I actually tried to do that. I didn't like it, only because you were recommending it. I downloaded and I tried.
All right. How about Shameless? You ever seen Shameless?
No, but you know what you were talking about the other day that I was gonna see if I could find was the one with the submarines that you were mentioning with where they point the nukes.
Oh yeah, they canceled that show. That was Sean Ryan and David Mamet.
Well, I want to check out what they do have at least.
Follow up to the unit, Last Resort. It was about an American submarine that went rogue and aimed its nuclear missiles at Washington. That's an awesome show.
So it's a spin-off of the unit, though?
No, it's not a spin-off. It's the same people who made the unit.
Oh, okay.
It's the exact same. Sean Ryan, who made The Shield, and then went on to create the unit with David Mamet. They then teamed up after the unit again and did Last Resort. It was really good. And it only lasted... You know what they did, though? It's almost like they knew that it wouldn't get renewed for a second season. So the last episode tied everything up. I feel totally satisfied. It was like I watched like a 13-episode miniseries or something.
That's cool. I like stuff like that.
Yeah, so I would have liked for it to come back, but I don't really know where you go with it. It probably was best as a one. Because, I mean, basically the premise was that this patriot American had taken over this American nuclear submarine during a coup in Washington. There was an evil coup going on, and the captain of the submarine is the only guy who figured out it was a coup, so he disregarded the orders to blow up the Middle East with his nuclear weapons, and instead he aimed his weapons at Washington and said, I'm just going to sit tight here. And he kind of hid out in this bay, like in like an island in the middle of the ocean, and aimed his nukes at America and said, until you guys tell me what's going on, consider me a guy that's about to blow you guys all up. Anyway, it was a good show, but where do you go from that? I mean, he can't stay in that bay forever, so it had to progress. The standoff it'd be a boring show. It was very dramatic, though, and they tied it up nicely.
Cool.
All right, so what can you watch today? I forgot about this one. Do you not watch Braylon? Braylon, my guy, what's his name? Braylon, Justified. Come on. Do you watch Justified? You gotta be kidding me! Braylon Gibbons?
I told you the list of 4 shows that I currently watch. That's it.
Dude, well, Justified is on tonight. I think it might be the season finale. I don't know. Maybe last week was the season finale. My computer's crashed, so I have no idea. I was going to pull it all up, but...
Yeah, mine has too.
I don't have it. We'll figure it out. All right, so that's not much of a watch list for today. I'm sorry. But I think Justified is on tonight at 9 o'clock. Is there anything else? Anything else that I need to be watching tonight? Tuesdays at 9. You
can watch Reggae Roots.
Well, yeah. What do you got coming up on Deep Ellum on Air?
Yeah, we got Starstruck is at 6, and then
CJ Star.
Yeah,
at 6.
Yeah, he's gonna come in next week. By the way, he'll help host the show.
Wow. Well, oh man, I like CJ.
And then after that at 8 we got Reggae Roots with the Idrins.
Yeah, that's that reggae band from Louisville.
Yeah. And
by way of Kingston, man.
And then I got a guy calling from like Brazil or something.
No, all right. So we'll take a call from a guy from Brazil. That's all good stuff. All coming up right here on DeepEllumOnAir.com. This has been HireAHero.org. More on that in the coming days. Presents PMS, the Pugs Moran Show, heard every Monday through Friday right here starting at noon, going till whenever we're out of gas. And today the internet has told us that we are out of gas. So we'll meet back here tomorrow and bring your notes. There will be a quiz. DeepEllumOnAir.com.
Tell us what you want to hear. DeepEllumOnAir.com.